Okay, here we are, the beginning of the new year, 2026, ladies. Excellent. And by the way, we had a great planning session. Look on our YouTube channel. We did a fantastic Word of the Year session on January 1st. It was fantastic. And then we also followed it up on the Saturday on the 3rd with a beautiful strategic planning. Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. Thank you to all of you who are here and also that watch the replay. Thank you. So let's talk about, and by the way, I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. This year's word for me is free. Free. So put if you've got a word of the year in here, let's just start getting in the game on your word of the year. I could even put flow in. That'd be a great year. I'm also curious for how many of you've changed your thoughts about your word of the year at least once to 10 times. I know I have, right? But thinking about your word of the year, hey, how can it inform you for our program today? Okay, so Happy New Year to you. Hey, how many of you have noticed in the world there's a lot more coaches, a lot more consultants, a lot more experts that have just entered into the market here in January and December? How many of you have noticed this? Okay. And we love it. Hey, I think that there's no such thing as competition when each of you are the category of one. We don't, competition is silly, outdated stuff. Collaboration, coexisting, and partnership, and all kinds of things. Co-acceleration, those are words we use in our council. However, the environment I have noticed and have been doing more and more research that I want to share with you, the environment, the economy, the world culture, what's happening is changing. It's changed as of January 1st. A lot of new things have come into new taxation laws, new laws around uh, Medicare, Medicaid, corporate stuff, all kinds of stuff. Things are happening on the global stage. And guess what? Coaches and consultants, trusted advisors, hey, we have to get into the flow of things. So, what I'm noticing is that what's happening in the world is not necessarily a matter of talent. It's not a lack of talent because each of you have got a tremendous amount of talent. What I'm noticing is it's movement and flow and having people move from knowing you, liking you, trusting you to becoming a client or being in your world, in your universe. We want to expedite that process. How many of you are with me on this, right? Because the longer people hang out there and make decisions, it just means that it's like a delayed response. It's like they're going to be looking around, and we want to work with our right fit clients, right? How many of you want to do that? We want to do great work. We want to work with our right fit clients. So today's topic is all about flow and ease and movement. And also, it's important to be able to recognize that, hey, and I've got a lot of words on the slides here. Thank you for your grace on this, is a lot of expertise. A lot of consulting firms are downsizing their businesses. Large consulting firms, as you may know, there's a lot of merger and acquisition going on with Doge, as you all know. They reduced the number of consulting firms that they were working with. Literally, they scaled it down to literally from 10 top firms to literally two or three. And so those hundreds of thousands of consultants who are very, very smart with a lot of expertise, many of them are saying, hey, I'm going to start putting out my shingle. So it's 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 all good, but we are in a lane where we know what to do. We can keep in the flow of what's happening now and how we can serve our right fit clients. Okay. But also we know is there's a lot of attention everywhere. Okay. Attention is scattered. How many of you have noticed more ads on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, right? For consulting and coaching and join this program, and you're going to be able to make $10,000 tomorrow or maybe even this afternoon. So there's all kinds of things that are happening. And talent, what I'm noticing is it's not the differentiator. And what I know is that I've been doing some market research that I want to share with you because what I'm noticing is that talented women are still feeling stuck, but they're at the same time, they're being really busy. They're posting, they're doing videos, they're doing all kinds of things. They're connecting, they're being podcast guests, they're doing all kinds of stuff. But being busy is not translating to more income and more opportunities and more clients. So I want to pause for a second, get your voices in here. What are you seeing? And again, this is not like meant to be a downer because when we know the game we're in, we can play the game, but if we don't know what's happening. And I think also with AI, this is providing so many, many opportunities for us to be able to optimize our work, optimize the business that we're in. But also, we know that AI cannot do what we're doing here, ladies. Okay. It cannot do for your clients that personal VIP one-on-one touch. Okay. So jump in. What are you seeing? What's happening in your world? And then we're going to jump into how do we get into the flow so that we can have business be easier, particularly this year. So jump in. What are you seeing? What's happening with you? What's happening in corporate accounts? What's happening in government? Whatever, wherever you operate, what are you seeing is the feedback you're getting from clients or what are you noticing? Feel free, unmute yourself.
I can go ahead and jump in.
Hey,
So
Sheila, thank you.
from a corporate branding and personal branding space, what I'm seeing, and I also see this with coaches and consultants, is that when you're first starting out, that's where you're trying to do everything, right? You're trying to be everywhere, you're posting everywhere, and it's exhausting. And it becomes, it's not, you're not being able to stand out. And I think after, a few years of being a coach or a consultant and getting your business in place and really deciding who you are, what your target audience is, that's where restraint comes in. And I wrote about that just recently on LinkedIn about just really being more decisive and pickier on where you want to post, where you want to be. And I believe what I've seen is all those new coaches and consultants, right? You see the new offer all the time. And it's just like you constantly are seeing them and they're trying to get their name out there. I understand that. But the ones with the fruit on the tree, the ones that have been in that space, right, that have that credibility, it's more restrained and it's more offering value and it's not shoving that offer down right down your throat all the time.
Brilliant, Sheila. Brilliant. Thank you. Yes. And what I'm also noticing is that because of the number of uh, coaches and consultants, and again, we deal with what is, right? And not a dreamland of what we hope things would be, I think that it's also raising the awareness for so many people that having a coach, having the sage on the side, your advocate, your person who stands with you and stands for you, giving you and partnering with you, kind of being a coach consultant kind of thing, is is literally it's mandatory to get ahead in the world, to be able to fulfill on the goals that we want, because we know how many of you have tried this? I know I've tried it for many years, is being alone on an island by yourself trying to figure it out, being the lone wolf does not work, right? Does not work. Yeah, yes. So with more people in the marketplace talking about the value of coaching and consulting, it gives us an opportunity to raise awareness and raise the bar. Okay. So I think this is all good. And my perspective is there are 8 billion people on the planet, 8 billion people on the planet. And I think every person, no matter their age, needs to have a coach, wants to have a coach, wants to have someone on their side advocating for them and supporting them to have the life that they want. So we got a lot of work to do with 8 billion people, ladies. Okay. So it's all good, right? Good. Jump in. Anything else that you're seeing? What are you noticing?
I'm also noticing that people are still feeling overwhelmed by everything around them, and they are in a kind of a state of confusion between what do I rush to make the things happen, and what do I have the restraint about that Sheila was talking about. It's that yin and yang of if I don't get out there fast, will somebody else beat me to it? Instead of figuring out what is it they really do their best at so that they stand out as a category of one.
Oh, Susan, so brilliant what you just said. Yes. And if you're even an internal coach, you are serving clients, you're serving colleagues within a corporate environment, or you're even like an advocate, or you're uh, an advisor, and we're all advisors, right, in our life, is what I'm also noticing is because there's, as you were saying, Susan, more confusion, more people, more opportunities, that decision-making cycles are being elongated. Back in the day, literally with corporate accounts that know, like, and trust me, and they know I can deliver just like each of you, we could get a contract done in literally probably under 30 days. Now I'm noticing things are getting a little bit longer. Okay. Decision making is getting longer, which is interesting. Isn't that kind of the paradox of AI, too? AI is meant to help us streamline things and get to decisions faster. But I think because of all these conditions, things are getting delayed. Okay. So we're feeling it as human beings, right? A confused mind says no, right? So let's get into the flow of how we can address all this. Good. Love the conversation so far. How about you? Yep, yep, that's it. Good. Okay. So knowing that, and I love absolutely everything that you said, Sheila, and also Susan, is being more busy, doing more things might not be the right thing to do, right? But doing the most strategic things targeted at your ideal, best fit, right fit clients and serving the people that you are meant to serve is really, I think, the key here. And people, what I'm also noticing through my research is, and maybe you're seeing this too, is people are engaged though, which is really great. We're doing a lot of things. We've got newsletters, we're doing webinars, we're doing discovery calls, we're doing workshops, we're doing seminars, we're doing Zoom calls, we're doing podcast interviews, right? Help me with more. What more things are we doing? I mean, we're showing up all the time. I know we feel appreciated. People are telling us, "Oh, it's just so good. Everything that you're doing is so helpful," right? But then what is happening, I'm noticing, is momentum in decision making on making a choice to hire the person to essentially commit funds, income, funds, revenue, resources of time and money, and also resources of our spirit, right? Resources of maybe they've worked with a coach in the past and it hasn't worked out exactly how they hoped it would. And perhaps there's a little bit of caution there, right? They're maybe afraid they can't trust themselves to stick to the coaching agreement. Maybe they can't coach, they can't trust the coach, right? Or the process. So decision making, we said, it is slowing. And the also, I will just tell you, the pain of not being always chosen as the person that the company's going to work with, the organization, the business, the individual, the human, it could be a little hard on our hearts sometimes, right? Yeah. So with that, I think that momentum is slowing, but ultimately at the very bottom is what I'm also concerned about always is when our income becomes inconsistent and is impacted, okay? Because flow is all about currency and current and keeping money and income moving through our business. Because what do? As business owners, as CEOs of our company, we reinvest funds back into our business. And the same with you. If you're an internal coach, if you're an internal consultant, is the income that you get, you reinvest that back into learning, right? You invest that back into growth. So we want to keep the currency flowing. Okay. And so to move into what is the flow model is I don't think what's missing here is not enough effort and not enough talent. I think what it is movement. So we're ready for a reset. How many of you are ready for a reset? Starting today, we get the great privilege to do some things a little bit different for today. Okay. And I think also that we need a new lens, right? Is people now, we've discussed it, but just to kind of put a little recap on it is what I'm noticing is people are moving toward something that is they do not want to move where things are unclear. They want to move where things are clear and where things are more secure, things are less risky, more certainty. Okay. So you being the proven person that can guide them, mentor them, support them, that you're reliable, dependable, and that you're going to help them get what they want is now more than ever. Okay. And so let's get into the core truth of all of this. And by the way, check c-suitenetwork.com. I just wrote a thought leader piece on this whole thing, and I think you'll enjoy it as well. Is all about if people do not know you, they cannot flow you. All right. And so this is flow. And what I mean by flow is visibility creates flow. Flow creates trust. Trust creates transactions. And so keeping consistency, doing things, being out there, but not having to be everywhere, but being in the places that matter. And so the flow path, and I'd like for you to be thinking about this for yourself and your business, your career, because we're going to do just a quick little exercise. And I'm defining this flow path. I put together this thought leader project here to think about getting more flow. And the path I think is people need to find you. They've got to be able to find you, right? How's your LinkedIn profile? How's your thought leader pieces? Are you out there being a podcast guest? Are you on webinars like this, master classes, getting your voice out there? People need to be able to easily find you. If people cannot easily find you, they will not flow you. That's exactly, I mean, it's just how it is. They can't find you, they can't flow you. When people are flowing with you, they want to lean in. Okay. So the flow path is they find you and then they're able to lean in a little bit. They're able to say, oh, I'm interested in what she's doing. That's kind of a fascinating thing. Or, oh, they're leaning in because they know someone else knows you. You've got this great referral kind of magic about you. They can also feel you, right? Many of you are doing great videos. Okay, that's one way that people can really feel you. How are they trusting you? Do you have the credibility? Are you demonstrating your credibility with newsletters or a thought leader piece? Or are they able to trust you through testimonials or your credibility of how long have you been doing what you've been doing with a success track record? So are we demonstrating that trust type of thing? And then the final thing is when they can find you, lean into you, feel you, and trust you, it makes it so much easier for them to work with you. Okay. And if any of these things are not missing in the equation for us, then it disrupts the flow, right? Okay. So just curious, what are you thinking here? Because we're going to take just a quick little quiz in here to be thinking about the flow path. And I want to also remind you of one thing that I'm noticing is this flow path. I think it's the intentional movement path that people take from the first contact that they find out about you. They hear about you. They meet you at a networking meeting. They read your book. They read your podcast. They read an article. They meet you through a friend of a friend. They have coffee with you. I mean, the opportunities are just endless, but it's from the first contact with you to then feeling confident commitment. They're like, wow, okay, this is the person who's right for me. Okay. So thoughts about any of this? Because we're going to do kind of a quick little lean into this. Are you digging this? Does it make sense? Do you like it? What are your thoughts here? Challenge me too, of course. Okay. All right. I think we're in the flow, right, ladies? Yep. Good. Susan, jump in.
No, I think, it's a framework for the questions we always are trying to to put together to say, how does somebody find me?
And important, right, to that is marketing 101, like we all know, but it's so hard to do, is like really know who your target audience is and where are they,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
being in front of them. And
Yes.
right, we want to be everywhere, but really are we in front of that target audience that we're really, really going after? And where are they living, right? What are they reading? Right? What are their habits? And how do we get into, right? Infiltrate that. Hard to do.
So, so brilliant, ladies. Yes, yes. And to be able to speak their language, obviously, and to be able to speak to what are their opportunities, but also where their challenges. And I'm also wondering if perhaps for all of us, and I think this is what you were saying too, Sheila, at the very beginning, is is what's the right fit for us is less more, and picking the right places and the right opportunities to be the most strategic, that we're not trying to be everywhere, but we're trying to be exactly where our ideal clients are at, right? With the right communities. And I will say C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, I'll do a shout out that we are that community, right? Yeah. Yes, good. Okay, good. So let's do a little quick just a little flow assessment. So thinking for yourself, we want to get on the court and move from theory and move from experience and move from research into you for yourself, where you will know, okay, here are some things that I'm going to take away from our time together, and then here are some things that I'm going to put my focus on. So on a scale of 1 to 5, and you can put this in the chat. You don't have to. If you'd like to, it would be really good. Where 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. Where would you say, where does your flow break? And I think what I'd rather even do is rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 to find out how easy is it for your ideal right fit clients to number one, find you. Okay, find you number one. 1 to 5. One is like, well, it's hard for them to find me. I'm not really on social. I'm not doing any networking. I don't have any thought leader pieces. Again, ladies, this is not make wrong. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong here. Okay. This is just an opportunity to say, hey, here's some areas where I can put some additional focus. Okay. So please, there's no shame game here. All right. Okay. Let go of that. All right. There's no perfection either. Right. So finding you, how easy it is for the people that you want to work with to find you. Okay. And feel free, jump in, put it in the chat. Yep, yep, find you. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 3. Good. Thank you, Sarah, Sheila. Yep. Yep. Susan, find you. Good. 4, right? Carol, 5. Exactly. Beautiful. Good. And what about the lean in factor when it comes to flow? Once people know how to find you, how would you rate what it is, their ability to lean into you, to be able to create things? And we're all creators, right? To be able
Can
to
you
give
define
people
how
an
you
opportunity to
see
lean in.
lean in?
Ah, beautiful. Yes. Yeah, thank you. I love this. Well, I think lean in, and I'm curious what you think lean in means. Lean in to me means that I'm doing things that are interesting, captivating, has the awareness of my ideal client saying, oh, wow, that's interesting. Oh, wow, I appreciate that. Oh, I like in a scrolling kind of thing, that it would have someone stop and go, oh, because you do this, right? You're scrolling, you're reading articles, you're doing all kinds of stuff online. And what would make you lean in? Hey, what made you lean in and say yes to today's program? Right? So that's my definition of it, is having people pay more attention. Pay more attention. Yep. Susan, how would you define it?
I, well, I was trying to figure out, is it me leaning in or them leaning in? Uh, and why are they leaning in? So
Ooh.
it was a combination of all of those things. And I just wanted to make sure that it was understandable for all of us because you hear that phrase used in many different frameworks.
Right, right. Yes. And of course, the lean out factor too, right? Of having us lean back, lean out to be able to think, okay, well, to contemplate and not be so, we're kind of switching. I'm at putting another coaching distinction in here, of course, which is leaning out or leaning back of being more contemplative, not trying to be so thirsty, as people say, right? To be more, I don't want to say hard to get, but just be a little bit more like you're not working with everybody all the time. You're selective, right? So to me, leaning in is once people are able to find you, what would you rate yourself in the way of having people flow with you in that they're leaning into what it is that you're doing? Your opt-in rates, your engagement rates, all of those kinds of things. Yeah, great. Thank you. You're putting it in. And of course, good. Sarah Jones, thank you. Yep. Okay, leaning back, following. I love all that. Leaning. Good. Good, good, good. Hey, and I think we could also lean into being a little bit more leaning in, right? Having our ideal clients lean in. We could always improve on our headlines and our topics and our voice, right? I always kind of walking a little bit of an edge about things that might be a little bit edgy, right? Not for the purpose of being controversial, but more of for all of you, what interests you. I want to know more about what interests you, the day in a life of you. What are you thinking? In my research, some of the most engaging topics, newsletters, and social right now is all about what I'm thinking about right now. People are interested in what you're thinking about, right? What's on my mind right now, dot, dot, dot. Okay. Yep. So notice, may I suggest, leaning in, the second point is notice what you lean into. Okay. And then that'll give you some ideas about, hey, what is it that you like, what appeals to you, and just try out some new things with your marketplace. Okay. Number three, feel you. Feel you. What would you say on a scale of 1 to 5 about their ability to feel you, experience you? Be able to relate to you heart to heart. AI cannot do that. So, what about your ability to have people feel you authentically, right? And maybe with not so much oversharing. I don't think any of us do that, but I think being appropriate with our marketplace, right? There was a time when a lot of folks were doing the crying thing. I'm like, please don't do that. Yes, too much sharing. Great. Great. So feel you 4. Good. 5. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, good. Number 4, trust you. Trust you. Have you posted your credentials? Have you updated your LinkedIn profile? Be sure to talk to Carol Kamimer about this, right? And hey, again, we could always do better, right? But trust you. I think I know that I can do a better job about testimonials, having more people give testimony to me and for the work that we're doing. It's on my list, right? For 2026 to get after that. But when was the last time that you asked people to give you a real credible testimonial on LinkedIn? Okay. I wish that I had gotten more of them when I was in corporate because it would have been easier once I left corporate to be able to have those testimonials. And maybe it's not about you in a particular job, but perhaps the testimonial is about you as a person, right? You as a person, because people trust the person. They don't necessarily trust first off the job description, right? So trust you. Okay. Good. Any comments, questions about that? I think that's pretty self-apparent there. And then finally, work with you. How easy is it for people to work with you? How is it for people? Is it for people to contact you, connect with you, get on your Calendly or whatever service you use to book a time with you? And how easy do we have on our website? Here's how we can work together. Maybe at the bottom signature of your email. Here's how I work with people. Okay, making it easy with an easy way for people to also pay you, right? The PayPal, the Venmo, whatever it is. Are we making it easy for people to give us money in currency? Okay, great. Any comments, questions that you want to bring up here? I think this is a really great matrix about how to increase more flow, having people find us, lean into us, feel us, trust us, and then make it easy for people to say yes. Seems really, really easy, right? Ha, ha, ha. Easy to do. Yes, ha, ha. Good. Anything emerging coming up for you? Your thoughts about any of this?
Another
Okay.
lens
Yep,
to look
please.
at everything we're doing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And so reminding ourselves that, and I think that this is the absolute truth, is creating more flow, having people feel us, know us, like us, and having it easy for people to say yes to us. The truth is, what I'm noticing right now is they're not necessarily decision makers, buyers, people who are choosing coaching, consulting, groups, memberships, all those kinds of things. They're maybe not choosing the very best expert, so to speak, with the longest resume. Obviously, we've got to have the credentials. Obviously, we've got to have the authority. We've got to have the experience. We've got to be able to stand on here are the results that you're going to get as a result of working with me. But I'm noticing is that people are choosing the easiest path, the lowest risk, the highest return on investment, and also the highest return on energy, right? They're not going with just anyone, but the coach consultant that provides the easiest flow path. Those are the ones. And being at the right time when people are making decisions, like right now, now is the most perfect time to be out there with a focus on creating more flow for yourself and flow for your clients. January is the biggest month of the year. People are making changes. And by the way, on the 12th of January, it's called Quitters Day. Okay. How many of you know January 12th is Quitters Day, National Quitters Day? People who said, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to do a weight loss, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get a new job, I'm going to do this. Then by the 12th, I don't know, I feel for the people who did this research, but they did the research to say those people who started off on January 1st with big, bold, brash goals and tried to do it on them by themselves alone, by the 12th of this month, they've abandoned their commitment. Okay. Well, why did they abandon it? Hey, they didn't have the support. They didn't have the community. They didn't have the guidance. They didn't have the structure. Well, you all provide that, right? So I think providing clarity and the pathway is the key here. Okay. All right. So one other thing that I would like to share with you is kind of a before and after of thinking about practically, again, thinking about how are you going about things and where can you make some small improvements that will increase your flow, okay? Make it easier for people to flow with you. One of the things that I'm noticing big time is coaches and consultants are saying things like, I help people reach their potential. I help people get a new promotion. I help people reach their leadership goals. Okay, sisters, what I'm noticing is that is way too generic. There's not enough flow there. You can see that it stops with, well, how would I do that? Why would I do that? What's the pathway to do that? So, in maybe taking a look at your copy, the way that you're writing things, the way that you're thinking about things, use AI, of course, to help you. But an after could be, and I'd love to get somebody's voice in here. You can see I'm kind of losing my voice here, ladies. I would love someone to read the after, please. Jump in because we got the before, right? What could be the after? Carol, jump in, please. Thank you. And you are on mute, dear.
Sorry. I help women move from unclear expertise to being confidently chosen for high value opportunities.
Quite a bit of a difference, right? More about the after is creating more flow and movement of helping to move people from this to partner with them from here to then the end result. So thinking about your positioning, like what is it that you do, who you do it for, what's there before, to where are you taking them, and what's the end result. So this is a really powerful experience of flow, right? So may I suggest be thinking about the way that we're talking about things, the way that we're positioning, who do we work with, where are they now, where do you want to take them, and then what will be the after is a really powerful experience of flow. All right. And of course, for all of us, I know we like a lot of fans, right? We'd like to have people who like us and are excited to attend our events. That's all really good. Friendships are fantastic. But when it comes to getting clients in this new year, is having more ease and being able to demonstrate clearly clarity for them. What are the end results? And we all know that, hey, we want people to know us, like us, trust us, but liking us alone is not going to get us chosen for contracts, for engagements, and for opportunities, right? Liking us alone is not going to do it, right? Back in the early days of coaching, liking was a big thing, but now it's like, hey, we've got to have the mix of all of these things together. So finally is my wish for you this year, and we're going to have all kinds of programs that are really all about flow. How do we get in the flow? How do we stay in the flow? How do we bring our clients into the flow? How do we design our careers and our business where we've got purpose, connection, and when connection becomes authority, authority and influence, of course, become income, and income then becomes impact. All right. And I know that's what we all want in this new year. So, with that, feel free, jump on a call with me, schedule a time with me if you have questions about this. I'm at calendly.com, Kathleen Caldwell. If you would like to talk about, hey, bringing your programs, products, and services into corporate, if you'd like to talk about joining our council, you'd like to talk about the Women's Success Accelerator, just like to talk. Let's talk about where you're going in 2026. Okay. So, with that, what's your biggest takeaway and one next step for our time together? We're just getting the year started, ladies. We're just getting it started. And this is just such a great opportunity to just get in and get going, get the flow going with a new set of lens of, hey, how can I just take one next step in one of these areas? So, curious about what's your biggest takeaway. And if you'd like to declare, what's your next step? Thank you. Thank you. Carol, jump in.
I heard a lot of removing barriers, um, making it easier for people to not only find us, but also then lean in and trust, and also removing barriers to working with us.
Excellent. Carol, wow, how fantastic. And how about we could even put that into our AI, to be able to create, how can I streamline some of the things that I'm doing and streamline my website, streamline my payment process, streamline all these things to bring more ease and remove barriers. I love that. Great, great, great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Who else? Biggest takeaway and maybe a next step. Jump in. I'm
I
doing an
think
analysis, yeah,
for
of
me,
my
it's
website,
that
and I'm doing it. Yeah, go ahead, please. Yep, thank you.
fresh eyes and feedback from others. So whether it's
Yeah,
testimonials or somebody looking at something and going, I know you and I still don't understand what this is telling me.
yeah,
Sometimes it's those things we take for granted that people understand. that they do not.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. And getting the candid feedback, right? We want to be nice sometimes, but boy, to be kind,
Real.
but real. Let's get real. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good, 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 good. Anyone else? Takeaway from our time together. Feel free to jump in and then we will complete. Yes, I have been monitoring the chat a whole lot, but feel free. Yeah. Yeah. Sarah, not to put you on the spot, but we are leaning into you, dear. Tell us more
Sarah.
about you, girl. Tell us.
In general or
Yeah, well, we're curious. You're a coach consultant, or what is it that you're doing in your career in your business?
I'm an art consultant for hospitals and medical facilities, doing artwork and signage for hospitals. So I work with a variety of different leaders and directors within a system. So it could be a CEO, COO, RNs, you name it. I'm having a hard time.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, fantastic.
But I think getting general feedback and being able to talk at different levels with different folks is great. And I think I'm old school in a sense that to me, it's more about personal touch and having one-on-one versus doing team meetings or Zoom calls. I seem to make more stride with the client.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Excellent. Yes. And we can see that because you are definitely leaning in, and we can imagine people will lean into you as well.
Nice
Very good.
observation. Thank you.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good. Well, super ladies. Well, let's let's make a little pinky truce here or pinky promise. We're going to have more flow in 2026, okay? So with that, thank you, thank you. We'll see you very soon next Thursday. Every Thursday we've got a program at 1 p.m. Eastern. And of course, we're going to get your voices in here as our esteemed faculty partners. So with that, lots of love to you. More flow and more go, right? Thank
Kathleen, I have a
you.
quick question for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes.
This was my first thing to ever attend. I just became a new member. So is that
Good.
something that we can lock in on our calendar that it always like every Thursday will just be blocked? Or do
Yes.
you send that out as just once a week an invitation?
Yes. Let me pause. Thank